moment you realized that the world had changed? Let me tell you a quick little story that has nothing and everything to do with the future of our world and how you fit into it. In 1917, the United States faced a huge problem. They were working hard to compete in the industrialized economy, and there was a shortage. Not a shortage of oil or coal or other natural resources, a shortage of people, specifically obedient factory workers. The solution to this economic dilemma? It was an experiment of sorts. It hadn't been done before, until someone thought of it. Mandatory public school. Unfortunately, the initial purpose of the United States public school system was not to inspire children or generate scholars. And it wasn't created for dreamers, people who color outside the lines, break the rules, and challenge the status quo. The public school system of the early 1900s was invented to create a nation full of adults who would obediently do their jobs in the factory assembly lines. Teaching kids to sit in straight rows and scheduling the entire day with the ringing of bells wasn't by chance. Punishing those who didn't conform was purposeful. These were the skills they would need to join the labor force. Intentional or not, this early method of turning dreamers into workers was an investment in the nation's economic future. And it worked. This then led to several generations of productive, fully employed workers. But it isn't working anymore. Why? Our economy has changed. We don't live in an industrialized economy anymore. We live in a connected economy. Right now, there are more users on Facebook than there were people on the planet 200 years ago. Technology has made it possible for us to connect with people, ideas, and information from anywhere in the world instantaneously. And as a result, our economies have expanded from localized towns and communities to the entire world. We have globalized trade in nearly every way. In the past, the obedient, do-what-you're-told without question people were rewarded for working hard and putting their dreams aside in order to toe the line. They were given well-paying jobs that led to long-term careers. They were guaranteed pensions, benefits, and the promise that they would always be taken care of. And they were. But that promise is gone for most of us today. Even if you have a white-collar job, the majority of white-collar workers are still working in a factory. Instead of operating a sewing machine or welding a widget, they now push pencils, type on keyboards, or process paperwork. It's still factory work because the entire focus of the day is spent on increasing productivity, which leaves little room for creativity, spontaneity, or individuality. The educated, hard-working masses are still doing what they're told, but they're no longer getting what they deserve. Even if you do everything you are told to do today, graduate from high school, go to college, get a degree, work hard in whatever job you can find, if you're lucky enough to find one, you're not guaranteed anything. Companies are being forced to change or die right now. Layoffs happen much more often than job openings appear, and the highest paying jobs are disappearing or heading overseas at an alarming rate. If you have a job where your boss tells you exactly what to do, he or she will always find someone cheaper than you to do it. Did you know that the average length of a job today is about 4.5 years? Contrast that to the 1960s when it was 40 years. The connected economy rewards a different group of people. It rewards the people who see things differently, who don't conform, people who have ideas that no one else has, people who are willing to work hard but know that the old way of doing things is broken. The connected economy rewards you not for being a cog in the wheel of life, but for standing up and reaching out. The connected economy rewards the connectors. Whether it's connecting a person to a person, a business to a business to a product, or a product to a person, those who learn how to connect are the ones who will survive and excel in the connected economy. That is how the world has changed. It's It's not about to change. It already has. Things are different now, and they're not going back to the way they used to be. Look at Facebook. What's their product? It's you. Your network, your information, your ideas, they all have value. Does Facebook pay you for the money they make selling your information to advertisers? No. But we still use it because we have an innate desire to connect with people. In fact, neuroscientists have found that we are actually hardwired to connect with each other. Some people know how to leverage this innate ability in today's economy, but most don't. And because they don't know how to do it, most of them are paralyzed with fear, resisting the shift, despite clear indications telling them it's time to change. In 1917, a group of people performed an experiment that forever changed the way that we earned a living. The world today is facing another huge problem. We're facing a shortage of our own. Not a shortage of factory workers or consumers. The world has enough of those. We have a shortage today of dreamers and connectors. And so, we're holding our own little experiment. And you happen to be the subject of it. This 8-minute presentation was specifically designed to seek out and find the connectors around us. Those who recognize that we are on the brink of the next economic revolution, who are ready to thrive in the connected economy, and who are searching for the best way to do it. The internet and technology are rapidly changing the way that we do everything today, including how we make a living. It's not too late to embrace the change and find a way to make yourself relevant and profitable in our brave new world. And that's why we've invited you here today. We've created something that rewards you for connecting. It pays you for bringing people together behind a cause, product, or idea. And we have systematized it and made it so that you can do it from anywhere with anyone at any time. If you are passionate about helping people, if you are passionate about changing lives, if you want to position yourself to be a capitalizing force within the connected revolution instead of just a bystander, let's start now. Do you remember the moment you realized that the world had changed? How about the moment you realized you could change with it?
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this wealth building webinar. My name is Sheila Abram, and I am coming to you all the way from the Pacific West Coast in sunny California, and I'm pleased to be the webinar presenter this evening. We'd love to start the webinar off with that video, Are You a Connector? Because not only does it talk about the need to connect, but it talks about how we have been connected to a specific belief that we didn't even know about. You know, and that belief is you go to school and then you just get a job. You become an obedient factory worker. Well, we know the factories are gone, but they've just been replaced. They've been replaced with cubicles. They've been replaced with, you know, just different jobs in different industries, but they've been replaced with jobs. And that's what we're told to do. But it's interesting. There was another experiment done, and that experiment was called Facebook. The experiment was, you know, Mark Zuckerman and his friends, they said, you know what? We think our fellow college students want to connect with one another. We want to know, how did that test go? You know, what's going on with this professor or that professor, or what's going on college life? Facebook was initially invented for the college students to connect with one another. And then it exploded. It ended up off campus into people's homes, people connecting with people, people connecting with family, long lost family they didn't know. Now you could connect with someone from your high school or elementary school 50 years ago. Find them on Facebook. Because people naturally want to connect with one another. See, that's something that's natural. But what else that's really natural that we've lost the ability to do is it's natural for you to dream. And when we talk about dreams, we talk about what do you want out of life? Are you going to your particular job or profession day in and day out? Are you happy? Do you feel that what you're doing is going to help you reach any type of dream? But first, what you have to do is start to identify what's a dream to you. I was talking to a gentleman the other day, and we were talking about, goals and talking about, what does he want out of life? And he was telling me, I just want to be comfortable. So I asked him, what is comfortable to you? And he said, comfortable for me is being able to pay my bills on time without worry, being able to go out to dinner whenever I just want to go out to dinner, and just that's comfortable. He goes, now I worry about making ends meet. Sometimes I feel like I'm robbing Peter to pay Paul. So his goal, his dream was just to be comfortable. Now, you don't ever steal someone's dream, but I tried to give him a bigger dream. Because why would you want to just be comfortable in life? Because see, him being comfortable didn't have anything to do with building wealth, didn't have anything to do with being able to leave a legacy for he and his family. Don't let there be that unexpected tire blowout. You get a flat tire. Sometimes that sends people into a tailspin, just trying to buy a new tire. See, living comfortable won't keep you comfortable because there are always unexpected expenses. The refrigerator goes out, the stove goes out. So you need to aspire for more than just comfort. You need to aspire for some financial freedom. What would it feel like to be able to vacation for as long as you want to vacation and not worry about the job? What would it feel like if, my daughter's going to have a baby? What would it feel like for her just never to have to go back to work again? Now, fortunately, we are working towards that goal, but it's not there for her yet, but it will be. But how many of you young mothers out there dread the fact that you have to go back to work within 6 weeks? That's all the state of California gives you paid is 6 weeks. Now, you could have some additional vacation pay from your job, but traditionally it's 6 weeks, and you better be dropping that baby off at a babysitter and getting back to work. See, what are your dreams? Where are you living? Are you living in the home of your dreams? When you travel, are you traveling the way you want to travel? Now people say, well, I've done everything that I was told to do. I went to school, and then I was told, well, once you graduate high school, you have to go to college, because see, when you go to college, you're going to be able to get that good job. See, you're going to be able to make more money than everyone else. Well, actually, that is a definite myth, especially in this environment. See, in this environment, it's almost flip-flopped because employers want to pay the least amount of money to get the same job done. Now, if they cannot, here's the truth. If they can get a college degree person to do a 12-hour a $12 an hour job, yeah, they would take that because they feel like this person at least has an education and they've paid some dues. But then the flip side is the job they may understand the college student's not going to take because, or college graduate's not going to take because they graduated. So then the employer is going to happily give it to the next best candidate that doesn't have a degree. Because in their mind, this is all they're going to pay for that particular job. It doesn't matter what degree you have. But then there are some professions that you need that degree, that it does give you that bump up. It gives you that edge. But what you weren't prepared for, and the video so clearly showed it, the average length of a job in today's economy is only 4.5 years. So you get your job. You're paying your student loans now because those do not go away. And at a minimum, when you graduate college, your student loans will be somewhere upwards to $100,000. They are going up across the board nationwide. So you have student loans that are due. So you're working, you've actually gotten a couple of raises, and all of a sudden you're reaching the 4th year on your job and you're starting to notice things. People that have been there, started like a year before you, all of a sudden their jobs are getting downsized. Their departments are closing. Some of the positions are being outsourced. And you're thinking, well, wait a minute, is that going to be me next? Because see, when you flip the coin, a business will do a reset. And the way to do a reset in salaries is to change some job classifications, lay some people off. Because all you have to do is just retweak either the title of the job or change just a little bit of the responsibilities. That allows you to now pay lower salaries because now you get people in to fill those jobs, and your people that you were paying more for, they either accept a downgrade, they either transfer to another department where they make less, or they go find another job. See, that is something that happens all the time now. Now, the U.S. Census Bureau, they did a study. They looked at 100 people, and they really look at 100 people age 65 years of age and older. And when you think about it, that is the age nowadays to where people don't have pensions anymore. That's the age of people that their retirement plans were turned into some type of 401k, which was supposed to take care of them. But they did a study and they said, you know what? Let's look at groups of 100 people and let's see how they're living now. What they found out, 1 in 100 is wealthy. Only 3 in 100 are still working because they cannot afford to retire. Now 4 have enough money to retire. 4 in 100 people have enough money to retire. But you may know one of those 4. How many of you know a retired senior that retired from their job? They're, getting their retirement benefits. They're drawing on their 401k. They're getting some Social Security benefits. But really, we're talking retirement benefits. How are they living? They'll tell you in the beginning, oh, I'm good. But how many of you know people that are around age 72? They've been retired since they were 65. You may have aunts, you may have uncles, you may have neighbors that are now around 72. They thought they were fine at 65 because they may have had $500,000. Now, $500,000 in a retirement plan, that's a lot of money. That's actually an excellent retirement plan. But now that they're 75 and they were used to living on only $50,000 a year, and trust me, $50,000 a year That goes by pretty quickly, especially when you're a senior, because medical expenses, just medications alone, doctors' copays, that can bleed you dry. Well, they're looking at their $500,000 now is almost gone, because for 10 years at $50,000, that's $500,000. So in 3 years, they're going to be broke. So they are already looking at, what am I going to do? You know, I'm still feeling good. I know I'm probably going to live to be 80 and 90, because that's what a lot of our beloved seniors are doing. They're living into their 90s. So now they're realizing, I have to try to get another job at age 73, 74. 63 out of that 100, do you know they are dependent on Social Security or charity? That's what they're dependent on. And then the other 29 are deceased. What that means is they worked until they died. They either left home and went to work and never came back home, or they left work, went home, and never made it back to work. They physically worked until they died. They never knew what retirement was. They never knew what not having to punch a clock was like. So in the golden years, 95% of people age 65 years of age and over, they cannot afford to retire, and they're going to work until they die. So you might be saying, that's not going to be me, because I honestly see it happening. You know, you might be in your 50s and your 70 plus age-year-old parents are still working. So you already see it. So you might say, you know what, I'm going to get a second job. That's got to be the answer. I'm young, I can get a second job. That's going to bring in double the income. But what you're finding out is it actually doesn't bring in double the income. And then when you have to file your taxes, you're actually now paying more in income taxes than you ever have. So the statement is so true that if the task, the job, or career that you perform were ever meant to make you wealthy and give you true freedom, don't you think it would have happened already? How many of you know people with two jobs? Some even have 3 jobs. How much closer to financial freedom are they? Well, see, that's a reality check. The reality check is it doesn't make them closer to financial freedom. Reality check is if you are an employee, the employee category in the cash flow quadrant, that is the highest income tax category. You're taxed the highest. You are taxed as an employee higher than businesses. Now, there is something not right about that. Now, so there are a lot of people say, you know what, I'm not going to be an employee. I'm not going to punch a clock. I am going to be a professional, a skilled professional. I'm going to be a lawyer, a dentist. You know, I'm going to start my own business. I'm going to be a gardener, a barber. I have special skills. What I can do, I'm going to do it better than every other self-employed business owner. So all the customers are going to come to me. Well, that might be true. There are some definite mom and pop self-employed business owners that are very successful. But guess what happens if there's an injury? Guess what happens if they lose their ability to go to their business and perform the task or the profession that they do? A heart surgeon, if he cannot do surgeries, will not get paid. A dentist, if he cannot either take out those root canals, fix those teeth, put in braces, do whatever, he's clean the teeth, even though a lot of his dental assistants do the cleaning, but pretty much do his technical skills. The dentist will not get paid, and neither will his staff get paid. So if you're self-employed, sometimes we always say that's an accident waiting to happen, because at some point you're going to get sick, at some point you're going to get tired, and at some point you're not going to be able to perform your task. Now there's another category, and that's the business owner category. That's where the business is benefiting on the E quadrant, the employees, to make their dreams come true. See, with those profits, they're able to reach their financial freedom and reach some of their goals, and they benefit the best on taxes. They get the best tax breaks. Now there's another quadrant. It's the I quadrant. Now the I quadrant, I want you to think about that. That's the investor quadrant. That's where you're going to be putting some of your money. You're going to put your money to work for you. Do you know that everybody on this cash flow quadrant, from the employee to the self-employed, a business owner, to the big business owner, do you know they all can participate in the I quadrant? It's just a lot of the times that employee just never knew they could invest, or didn't know what can they invest in, or the investment, the entry to the investment was way too high that they could not even dream about investing. Well, I am going to show you a wealth building system that everyone on this cash flow quadrant can invest in. I'm also going to show you something that's going to make you, as you see that employee there, he's all slumped over. He's so tired from the end of the day. Well, I'm going to show you an opportunity that's going to make you stand straight up. It's going to make you look forward to going home and coming back to work, because you're going to learn how to have your job finance your future. See, that's the difference. Your job can finance your future, can finance your freedom, because you're going to be able to put some of that money that you're making from your job into a system that's going to help get you free. See, we're going to give you just a little bit of financial education tonight, and that is something that you don't get in college, but it's in books. See, isn't that interesting? They say, how do you keep a secret? Put it in a book, because people won't pick it up to read it to find out what it is. But we're going to talk about some wealth principles. Wealth principle number 1, you must pay yourself first. You are the most important person in your financial equation. You are the one going to work. That's you. So you should be the one that's going to pay yourself first. It needs to be a portion of everything you earn. Should pay yourself first. There's a book called The Richest Man in Babylon. I invite you, if you haven't read it on this webinar, to read The Richest Man in Babylon. It talks about the wealth principles, and pay yourself first is the biggest one. Now there's wealth principle number 2. You must create residual income. See, successful people know that if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. So you need to find a system that allows you to employ leverage. It allows you to benefit from your activities, but also on the activities of others. See, and then that gets residual income coming in. That's wealth principle number 2. Now, wealth principle number 3, you must solve taxation. Now, remember in the cash flow quadrant, I said your E quadrant, your employee quadrant, that's the highest taxed quadrant there. You, a W-2 earner, your taxes are your largest expense. They're your largest expense. So the way to solve taxation, wouldn't it logically be to put yourself in a position to reduce your tax exposure? Well, there's a way to put yourself in that position, and that's having a home-based business. See, speak to your knowledgeable tax professional. With a home-based business, you're going to be able to have legitimate, qualified tax deductions, and that's what you want. Now, wealth principle number 4, you must solve inflation. Now, if you thought number 3 was hard, and then you found out, oh, wait a minute, I could just get a home-based business, which is also, my job could help me finance my home-based business until I get it off the ground. But solving number 4, that's a little bit of an impossible task. How can I even remotely solve inflation, you might think? You might say, you know what, the dollar does not buy what it used to buy even just 10 years ago. What I could get with $100 in the grocery store is nothing today. Because see, your dollar, which you found out, is worth 97% less than it once was 10 years ago. So you might think that's an impossibility, solving inflation. Well, that's a problem, but I don't want to just point out problems. I want to give you solutions. See, and there is a solution to solving inflation. What you have to do is participate in a system that's going to outpace inflation. I want to introduce you right now to Karatbars International. And I'm actually going to introduce you to a number of our Karat companies. We have grown. But in Karatbars, it's a gold acquisition and wealth building system. It's a payment system. It is simply this. You're going to save the money that you want to keep in gold. Remember wealth principle number 1, pay yourself first. Then you decide, okay, this is how much money I make on my paycheck. I am committing to myself that this amount of money I am going to pay myself first. Well, now that you've made that commitment, you need to put it in a payment system that's going to outpace inflation. So all we do here is save the money you want to keep in gold. And then you're going to get paid when others employ the exact same payment system, or they start it up, they enact it, and they share with others. So I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to give you some examples on why gold is the system that you're going to pay yourself first in. But let's talk a little bit about Karatbars International. It was formed in 2011. It ships to more than 120 countries worldwide. It specializes in the production and sale of high quality gold products in transaction-friendly ways. Now, our CEO, our visionary, our founder, Mr. Harold Seitz, he's a senator there on the European Economic Council. He's been featured in magazines. Oh my goodness, with his new companies, he's featured in all the stock exchange magazine, live news reports. Mr. Harold Seitz is an innovator, but he's an innovator with a mission. And over the past 4.5 years that I have personally been involved with Karatbars, I have seen his mission start to become a reality. And here's his mission. My mission is to produce the highest quality gold available in the market and make it easily accessible to the masses of honest people around the world at a price point everyone can afford. My goal is that Karatbars help millions find financial freedom from this current system of debt. Now, what kind of mission is that? See, that's a financial freedom mission. So Mr. Harold Seitz started with Karatbars. But I'm going to take you through just a couple of other companies that he started since then to help bring that mission to fruition. See, Carrot Bars is the proven system. It's a wealth building system. Mr. Harold Seitz, he's created a system that literally perpetuates the generation of wealth for the masses using the only real form of money, and that's gold. See, that's what outpaces inflation. This is absolutely amazing. This opportunity is going to give you a chance to change your financial future forever. And it is as simple as choosing these 4 ways to participate. There are 4 ways to participate in Carrot Bars and its sister companies. The first thing we do is we save gold. We protect the purchasing power of our money. Financial experts have said, save a portion of your income in gold. The reason why they say it, that's because gold is money. Gold is money, and it's a safe store of value and wealth. Now I'm going to give you just a couple of examples on why gold outpaces inflation. In 1971, 1 gram of gold, it'd buy you about 5 loaves of bread. $1 in 1971 would get you about 4 loaves of bread. So you would say that's pretty close. But now let's flash forward today. 1 gram of gold gets you about 25 loaves of bread, whereas $1 gets you maybe 2 slices of bread. See, that's it. So with this example right here, this is telling you how you can solve inflation. Because I can guarantee you this is 2018. When a chart is read saying in 2018, 1 gram of gold would get you about 25 loaves of bread, but now that is 2030, they're going to talk about how much more bread that 1 gram of gold is going to be able to get, because gold is a safe store of value and it goes up. Some people love money as an example. You know, when you see money, for some people, this really clicks for them better than the bread example. So let me give you this example. Let's say in 1971, you had $2,000. Now, in your left hand, you took one of the, $1,000, half of it, and you just shoved it up under your mattress. In your right hand, you took the other $1,000 and you bought 24.6 ounces of gold, because that's what it would buy in 1971. Now, you decided today to lift up that mattress, take out that $1,000. You know, you had 10 $100 bills. And when you took it out of your mattress, did it suddenly become 20 $100 bills? Or is it the same 10? Well, not only is it the same 10 $100 bills, it's going to purchase less, because the purchasing power of the money, the fiat currency, the paper, buys less today. Okay, how much less? 83.5% less. But now, on the other side, you took out the 24.6 ounces of gold. Guess how much it's worth today? It's worth more than $32,000. It increased 3,137%. So remember wealth principle number 4? You must find a way to solve inflation. I have just given you the secret to solving inflation on this webinar. Now in Carrot Bars, see, we have, remember I told you about those 4 optional ways to participate? 4 optional ways. Option 1 is save gold. When you pay yourself first with gold, you're positioning yourself to leave a legacy. You're positioning yourself to be able to take care of yourself in your 80s and 90s. and you control it. We also have wonderful gifts you can give in the world of Karatbars in physical gold. You can say, I love you with gold. You can say, happy birthday, congratulations, happy anniversary, or congratulations to the bride and groom. And here at Wealth Builders Worldwide, we even have a wonderful Gladiator Gold card. See, we're proud to be wealth builders. So we have this in our cards. In our Let's Go weekends, we proudly wave our Gladiator Gold cards in the air. Now, Karatbars also has cash gold, and cash gold just over the last 2 years is truly transforming into what it was meant to be. It is a part of a payment system. Cash gold, though, is also for people in countries that are more economically depressed than we are here. See, in some countries, that wonderful 1/10 of a gram is around €5. In some countries, that's still a month's wages. Or that's still something that they truly have to budget to pay themselves first with that 1/10 of a gram. And unfortunately, in the United States, when we talk to the average person and say, listen, I have a way that you could save in gold, the first thing that comes in their mouth or in their mind that makes their brain shut off is save. I'm barely making ends meet. I don't have any money in my bank account. I can't save anything. Well, if you can't skip the drive-through, see, by skipping the drive-through, you can afford a 1/10 of a gram of gold. There are no excuses. If you feel out of the 40 plus hours a week you're working every single week, that you don't deserve to pay yourself first with, for sure, a gram of gold, a gram of cash gold, but at the least a 1/10 of a gram of cash gold, then there is something wrong. And you're going to continue to stay in that just system of debt with no way out. And you're going to look 5 years from now and you're going to be in the same position. I want to do a quick exercise right now. Those of you on this webinar right now, I want you to think about your finances 5 years ago. 5 years ago, what was your bank account looking like? 5 years ago, what was about your credit card debt like? What was those balances like? Now look at what they are today. Aren't they about the same? If anything, your credit card balances might even be a little bit higher because you may have applied for an additional credit card now than you had 5 years ago. And unfortunately, that credit card is maxed out as well. So you have to do something different, or 5 years from now, you're going to be in a worse position. Now, let's talk about, see, remember I said cash gold is evolving? It's what fuels our Carat Pay app. It's cash gold. See, when you buy cash gold from Karatbars, turn it into your Carat Pay app, you are able to transfer money to a relative that has a Carat Pay account and a Karatbars account. You're able to transfer, remember I said money because gold is money. Don't forget that, gold is money. You're able to transfer that. We have businesses globally that are saying, sign me up. I want to take a portion of my income in physical gold. Why wouldn't I? If I could sell a pair of shoes today, let's say it's $50 for a pair of shoes, and I could take a gram of gold for that. And I'm going to hang on to that because, see, all the gold I take into my business, that's in my profit account. I'm keeping that. That's my pay myself first account. Then a year later, the gold's going up in value. Isn't it just like you sold those shoes for $55, $60? It's like the customer came back a year later and said, oh, you know what? Here, you know those shoes that I can no longer wear a year later? But here's some more money for them. Well, that's what gold does. Anyone accepting gold for products, goods, or services will get a continual increase on their profits. So that's why businesses are signing up. Now let's talk about option number 2. Now option number 2 is save gold and earn income. See, not only are you paying yourself first, you're helping to solve inflation, you now can earn some income with this system. And you're going to say, well, how can I do that? Just by referring. See, we are connectors. No matter what you may think, you are a connector. When you find a restaurant that opens up and it serves the best apple pie on this planet, I mean, you walk through the door and the smell hits you in the face. It's like, oh my goodness, that has to be a buttery, flaky crust on that apple pie. And you look at it, they slice into it, and it's so nice and juicy. It's like the perfect blend of cinnamon and nutmeg in that apple pie. What's the first thing you do? You're getting it, if not right there, because see, now with social media, everybody's taking a picture of their plate or their pie or their ice cream, and you are yelping it. You are telling everybody, this is the best apple pie on the planet. You gotta get in here. What did you just do? You were trying to connect people to a product. But you want to know what that store is not going to do? Not only are they not going to give you a free piece of apple pie for giving them great publicity, they're not going to pay you for it either. Well, in Carrot Bars, you're going to get paid when you refer others who also pay themselves first. There is nothing better than that. Now let's talk about option number 3. Option number 3 is you maximize your income. Now, how do you maximize your income? You truly turn on your open for business side. You register, you've already registered your free account. See, and you're going to get paid in the free position by just referring others. It's just a small amount though. But for those of you that truly want to benefit from a home-based business, you're going to get a business package. And we have 4 of them. You stretch yourself. How much income, how much when you start to earn money do you want to make in this business? Carrot Bars gives you the opportunity to decide and go ahead and start in the best place possible for you. Whether that's VIP, gold, silver, or bronze, but you get to choose where you're going to start. And I'm going to tell you the differences in those packages in just a few minutes. So you're going to register for free, select a business package. You're then going to upload your Know Your Customer documents. Carrot Bars needs to know who their affiliates that they're doing business with are. So you have to upload valid proof of ID. And you have to upload an approved bill that is mailed to the address you opened up your account. Okay, and then you're going to start immediately practicing wealth principle number 1, and that's pay yourself first. That's what gets this whole system going. See, gold attracts. Gold attracts others. Gold attracts more gold. So that's why you got to pay yourself first. You're going to then decide you're going to pay yourself in 1, 2.5, or 5 gram increments. Again, in Carrot Bars, you decide. And then, just like that wonderful apple pie, you're going to share it with as many people as possible. And then when duplication starts to happen, that's when you're truly going to start saving or earning money. You're going to start earning money in this system. I'm going to briefly tell you a quick example on duplication, and that's a penny that doubles over 30 days. This example is, if I can offer you a suitcase today, right now, with $500,000 in it, that's $500,000. I say you got a choice here. I'm going to give you a suitcase with $500,000, Or you can take option B, 1 penny. You see this 1 penny? But the system will be this penny's going to double every single day for 30 days. What would you take? Well, for most of the people, they're not going to take out their phone and do the math or simply Google how much is a penny that doubles for 30 days. They're not going to do that. They're looking at a suitcase and first thing I'm saying, open it up. Let me see if there's real money in there. And all they're going to see is stacks of band, $100. Oh my God, give me that $500,000 right now. And they're running to the BMW, Mercedes, Lexus dealer. They're just running. In their mind, jackpot, let's spend. But it's the person that truly thinks about it and can delay some gratification and simply looks at their phone and says, how much is a penny that doubles every day for 30 days? The number $5,368,709.12 is going to pop up. That is a no-brainer. Just delayed gratification. And just a system that is built on duplication. Well, that's how your Carrot Bars business is going to start to work. It starts with you first. It starts with you paying yourself first. It starts with you opening up, starting a home-based business. It starts with you sharing with others and them simply doing the same. Now, you might say, I don't have a lot of time to start a home-based business. Well, how much do you have? You know, you might say in this example, well, look, I've only got about, in a week, 8 hours. I could give 8 hours a week to this home-based business. But you share with Cheryl and you say, hey, Cheryl, how would you like to start paying yourself first? And how would you like to solve taxation and outpace inflation? And she's like, well, how can I do that? And you point her to this webinar or one of our wonderful videos. She goes, sign me? Oh, yes, I'm doing that right away. How much time do you have to devote to your business, Cheryl? Well, look, I have a good 20 hours a week. Then you share with Dan. Dan might say, well, you know what? I can do this full time. I see what it can do. Right there in that example with just Cheryl and Dan. That's 60 hours a week plus your, let's round that up to 10 you had. That's 70 hours. See, between the three of you, you're benefiting from leverage and from duplication. Wouldn't you rather have 1% of the effort of 100 people than 100% of your own efforts? See, we want to employ duplication like that penny that's doubling every day. And the beautiful thing in the world of Carrot Bars is you're going to get a percentage of people paying themselves first, a percentage when they turn on their open for business signs by getting their business packages. How easy is that? So that's why you want to get involved, and you want to get involved tonight. But let's discuss how the money works. See, the money works like this. When you get a business package, you instantly turn on your dual system. You have a left side and a right side, really a left team and a right team. And that goes to infinity. It doesn't cut off. All of Carrot Bar's products, they have units attached to them. All of the business packages, remember people getting their business package, getting in where they fit in. The business packages have units attached to them. And then the gold that they're paying themselves first has units attached to them. So that's how money starts to flow up your system, because every time there's 25 units on one side, and then there's 50 units on the opposite side, you are going to get an instant dual team payout, instantly. Now you're going to say, how much is that dual team payout instantly? Well, remember where we said you decide the business package that you can afford? Well, if you have a VIP package, that's going to be around $100 every time that dual team payout happens. If you get a gold package, it's going to be around $75, a silver package about $55, and a bronze package about $25. So in the world of Karatbars, you get to choose your compensation, and that is so unique. Now, the system is designed to do over 180 dual team payouts per week. We are paid on a prepaid MasterCard. It's a beautiful MasterCard. It works in practically every single country we're in, over 120. You pop it into the ATM and it's going to give you the currency of that country. And Mr. Harold Seiss, he really wants you to build wealth. Anytime you earn €100, 200 euro in 1 week, he's going to reward you by paying you in a gram of gold first, and then the rest in money, euro, on that prepaid MasterCard. So see, he pays you first in gold and then in euro when you earn more than 200 euro in a week. That's somebody that really wants you to benefit from the gift that keeps on giving, and that's physical gold. Now, option number 4. Now, this is option 4 is new. We invest in Karat coins. Now, we have 2 coins out there. We have Karat Gold Coin and we have Karat Coin Bank. Karat Coin Bank is brand new. Only Karatbars affiliates can benefit and purchase Karat Coin Bank. So you definitely, when you open up your account, you turn on your open for business sign, you start paying yourself first. The next thing you say is, wait a minute, how can I get some coin? Because you want to do that. Now, you can also still get Karat Gold Coin. We are on major exchanges right now as we speak. We are inviting people. Go to right now, the coin is just starting out. You can get an excellent deal on Karat Coin Bank on the exchange. Now see, here's how we have a wonderful, complete Karat Gold ecosystem. I'm not going to explain every component, but it's simply this. When you purchase the brand new KCB, when you purchase that, it helps the bank. Because what happens is when you purchase that, then the bank is going to purchase some gold to help support the KBC that's on the exchange. See, then you go to the exchange, you get some of that coin, and it helps the entire system. And who else does it help? It helps the most important person in the equation. It helps you. One of the unique things about our coins is they are backed by physical gold. We have a federally licensed Karat Bank in Miami. We have a gold mine. You will be getting involved in a financial ecosystem unlike any other in the world. So these are reasons you want to get involved tonight, because I'm showing you an opportunity that's truly going to help make you financially free. See, the research has been done. Our gold comes from LBMA approved refineries. We operate in over 120 countries. Our gold is delivered by FedEx. MasterCard is the payment partner. There's some fundraising done by the Vatican. They've been doing it for over 6 years. They're raising money. We have hundreds and thousands of satisfied customers and affiliates worldwide. See, taking action tonight is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Easy. See, we save a lot of gold. We invest in Karat Bank Coin and Karat Coin Bank. And we tell a lot of people and we make a lot of money. That's what we do in Karatbars. It's easy. Now, we also have wonderful training. We don't just sign you up and make you figure it out on your own. We help you stay connected. If you want to do this as a business, isn't it great to hear from other business owners doing the same business as you, that they're succeeding? that their customer base is growing, that they're following the system. You want to hear from others. Well, you can do that on the power call. We also have a wonderful just roadmap to running your business the best and most efficient way. And that's with our wealthbuildersworldwide.info site. It's like your operations manual for your business. Now you can't go, like let's say you're a mom and pop ice cream shop. You can't go to the next mom and pop ice cream shop and say, hey, can you give me your operating manual? Can you give me all your best practices so I can just do the best? They're going to look at you and say, you better figure it out on your own. Well, here in Wealth Builders, here in the world of carrot bars, oh, we're ready to hand you an efficient operating system. We want you to succeed. We want carrot bars to become a household name. We even have a leadership call on Wednesday nights. We have live presentations every Tuesday night and every Thursday night. See, and we even have special trainings sometimes, board meetings, Watch Me Works. We have it all here in Carrot Bars. So if you are not a Carrot Bars affiliate and you're seeing this webinar on somebody's Facebook page, somebody invited you to see it, give back to that person. And you let them know I'm ready. I am ready to participate in 1, 2, 3, and 4 ways. I want to participate in all 4 ways. Get started tonight. I'm Sheila Abram. It has been my pleasure presenting this webinar to you. Everyone, have a wonderful evening.